So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's it, YouTube? Dad here from ZWGames Games, bringing you Rob's Abyss Actor deck. It is budget as well, but the best thing about this deck is I did not realise how insane some of the cards are. Like, as an archetype, it has some insane individual cards. Like, it has cards that can trigger any of your opponent's monster effects become pop a card you control. So you basically get the artifact effect to trigger it to pop Awaken the Dragon. So as long as you've got a zone open, you're going to be sitting yourself up on an Ultimate Falcon. It then has cards like this that means your opponent cannot respond to the summon. So when it's normal or special summoned, your opponent's spell and trap cards and effects cannot be activated. So it means you can't strike a pendulum summon if Abyss Actor is being summoned. The rest of it, like, they've got a crazy creature swap card. They've also got a card like this, Mellow Madonna, who basically becomes a full-on scale. So you pay 1,000 life points, add one Abyss Actor pendulum monster from your deck to your hand except itself. You can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Abyss Actor pendulum monsters. Doesn't really matter, you should have done all of your stuff before that, but it still allows you to flood the board with a decent amount of monsters, and then you have a lot of protection. Not to mention an Abyss script that lets you nuke your opponent's board or destroy face-up cards equal to the amount of face-up attack position Abyss Actors you have. It's just crazy good, and you can build it all on a budget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through his build, show you what Rob has, and then kind of go with it as go through the effects as we go. So, Triple Abyss Actor Superstar, of course, it is in the name. This is like the highlight card of the deck. Like I said, its scale effect is once per turn you treat one Abyss Actor monster, then target one Abyss script spell card in the graveyard and add it to your hand. When it's normal or special summoned, your opponent cannot activate spells or traps and effects. And when it's summoned, once per turn you can send one. You can set one Abyss script spell directly from your deck, but it's sent to the graveyard during the end phase. So the whole idea is when you're being aggressive, you set the Abyss script that lets you nuke the board. And then, of course, Triple Abyss Actor Mellow Madonna. This, of course, completes your scales for you. Then you've got Triple Abyss Actor Leading Lady. Once per turn, when you take battle damage from an opponent's attacking monster, you can activate one of these effects. Your opponent's monster loses attack equal to the damage you took, even if this card leaves the field. Add one face-up Abyss Actor pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand with attack less than or equal to the damage you took. Monster effect is, once per turn, when battle damage is inflicted, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to that battle damage. When this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's monster zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can set one Abyss script spell directly from your deck. Triple Wild Hope. This is obviously the other card that you'll search out of with Mellow Madonna. So once per turn, you target one Abyss Actor card in your other pendulum zone. Its pendulum scale becomes 9 until the end of this turn. You cannot special summon monsters except for the rest of the turn except Abyss Actor. So obviously you turn Mellow Madonna into like a 9 and then off you go. Monster effect is once per turn you can make this card gain 100 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you currently control with different names until the end of this turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one Abyss Actor card from your deck to your hand except himself, and you can only use this effect once per turn. Triple Abyss Actor Sassy Rookie. So scale effect, if an Abyss Actor monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect, you can destroy this card instead. The first time this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it is not destroyed. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's monster zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Abyss Actor monster from your deck except himself. If this card is in the pendulum zone is destroyed, you can target one level 4 or lower monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Triple Abyss Actor Extras. This is just a free summon, so if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your pendulum zone. You can only use the effect once per turn. You can tribute this card, place one Abyss Actor pendulum monster from your deck into your pendulum zone. Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters except Abyss Actor monsters, nor activate the pendulum effects of Abyss Actor Extra. You can only use the effect once per turn. So obviously you put this in scale, bring this out, and then go into your Mellow Madonna, and then you fill your board up from there. 2 Abyss Actor Comic Relief. I'm assuming he would play 3 if he has a third. You target one Abyss Actor pendulum monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. Switch control of both monsters, then destroy this card. Only use the effect once per turn. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. Once per turn during your standby phase, give control of this card to your opponent. Once per turn, if control of this face-up card changes, activate this effect. The owner of this card can destroy one set Abyss script spell in the spell and trap card zone. Double Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, we all know what this does. This is put in the scale and it's a free summon if you control no monsters. Its monster effect is gain 1100 attack if you control no other monsters. Once per turn you send one Abyss script spell from your deck to the graveyard, add one face up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. And then the boss monster, 2 Abyss Actor Evil Heal. Scale effect. Once per turn you control one Abyss Actor monster, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to the original attack of the tributed monster. Monster effect. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1000 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you currently control until the end of the turn. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target one Abyss script spell card in your graveyard and set that target. So, let's, for example, say you target one of your opponent's boss monsters, reduce it by about 3000 or reduce it to 0. Then you can attack. If it can't be destroyed by battle, even better, you're just going to keep beating through it. Otherwise, you attack, clear the board, use the effect, set Abyss script Rise of the Abyss King, and then clear off your opponent's rest of the board. Speaking of which, triple Abyss script Rise of the Abyss King. Target face-up cards on the field up to number of attack position Abyss Actor monsters with different names you control. Destroy them. If you control a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor monster, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by the opponent's card effect, you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can add up to two Abyss Actor cards or Abyss script spell cards with different names from your deck to your hand. Double Abyss script Abyss Tainment. Tribute one Abyss Actor monster, then target one Abyss script spell in your graveyard, set it to your field. Only use the effect once per up to twice per turn, sorry. If this set card is in its owner's control, it's destroyed by an opponent's card effect. And you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck. Special summon any number of Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters from your deck. That is insane. Cool. So, using this guy, this card, which is the field spell, which is insane, you reveal one Abyss Actor Pendulum monster and one Abyss script spell card in your hand. Add one Abyss script spell card from your deck to your hand with a different name than that revealed spell. While you control a Pendulum summoned Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, any monster effect activated by your opponent becomes destroy one set spell or trap your opponent controls. Only use the effect once per turn. So, not only will it trigger these, it will also trigger... So it needs to be said. You have a way, even if you could literally leave this face up in your back row and be like, yeah, Awaken the Dragon's like this one right here. If you activate any monster effect, you will pop it. Like full on Detective Pikachu mode. Like you have full access to pop Awaken the Dragon whenever you choose, which is insane. Double Terraform to search out the field spell because it is that important. Double Desires for that extra mills. You need it in Pendulum decks. You can just burn through your deck, get your scale set up, and off you go. And then, of course, triple Awaken the Dragon. And he has one evenly matched. So because he owns one evenly matched, he does put that in there. But, of course, that could be anything you want. You could play a Hand Trap Virgin. You could do quite a lot with this deck as long as you do not rely on special summoning a range of monsters. But it does give you the ability that as long as you use the right effects at the correct time, it does give you the ability to work around that loophole of locking you into Abyss Actor monsters as well. So the extra, he's only got 13 cards at the moment. The other two can be pretty much anything you want that fits within. You could even put in the Megatron as well, Zephyr Metaltron, and go from there. And more Waken the Dragon targets, because at the moment he's only got the one Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon target. Of course, this could be the Naturia Beast. It could also be Last Warrior from a different dimension as well. So you've got loads of options on that one there. For the fusions, he's got two Odd Ice Vortex and one Dinosaur Power, the Mighty Draco Slayer. He's trying this out. It is just a different budget version. He does have stuff like Ignista and the Draco card, the Draco Pendulum monster in his side deck that he's trialing out. He's then got the full Guard Dragon combo of Agapane, Pitsy, and LP. Let me just have a quick look. Let's see what dragons he's actually got. I think they're all fiends. So I think it's more for his side deck. It must be. It must be more for his side deck. So I know in his side deck he can play Goliath as well, which is a very, very cheap option, and that can really, really stun your opponent. But the whole idea is to level all these up, get your Vortex out, and then extend a little bit further. And as you can see, it's not like fully comprehensive with the rest of the pendulum cards, but of course you can add more in. But you've got your Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, your triple Burst Dragon to get into that. You've got the Saruja for additional draw power should you flood the board, Electromite standard in any pendulum build, and then your 2 rank 7s of Odd Eyes Meteor Burst and Dawn Dragstar. Of course, if you wanted to, you could try and mix this with Endymions, but because of the restrictions on some of the Abyss Actors, you do have to think a lot more about the way you play it. So this is just one of his builds of the Abyss Actors. It's something a little bit different, something a little bit, you know, out of the box, which is very, very interesting. Let me know what you think of this deck, any improvements that he can make, any kind of thoughts. If you do have any questions, put them in the comments down below. I'll either ask Rob myself, or if he's got access to his YouTube, he can start replying to some of those comments as well. It's still an incredibly fun deck. It's not designed to like absolutely wreck the meta, but it can put up a fight sometimes because not many people are expecting like an Abyss script or constant Wake in the Dragon effects and stuff like that. And I think once you get stung by the Wake in the Dragon effect, you then learn to say, okay, I need to be able to clear the field spell before I start activating any monster effects. But yeah, that's it for the profile. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Dan here from Zephyr Games. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always guys, happy dueling.